Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here,
And BlueDragonFive.
Eventually.
and welcome to... No, wait, that's not right. And tonight, we're talking Mr. Banks!
Maybe. You got there
Yeah.
eventually.
I had to make that pause extra dramatic because I messed it up at first. Alright, so it is the first Pixar movie since 2013? 2013, is that right? Yeah, 2013. And it is also the first original Pixar movie since Brave, and the first really highly renowned, critically acclaimed Pixar movie since Toy Story 3. And we're all here to discuss it and give our first impressions on it. I saw it last night. BlueDragonFive, you saw it today. Same as AdvBlueDude, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay, so I know AdvBlueDude, you liked it. BlueDragonFive, I've been deliberately kind of making you keep me in the dark. So, what do you think? Are you going to surprise me and say you hated it? Because I'm kind of hoping you am. You are. I can't speak tonight.
What are you, nuts? I love this movie. Oh my god, what a fantastic movie.
Right. That's pretty much the reaction I was expecting.
I'll tell you, I really hated the part where it ended. Just where it just said, like, after, I mean, usually I love the part where it says Emeryville, California, but anyway, after it happened, I was thinking about it, saying, you know what? I wish we just had more credits. I think we could have used more credits.
Oh, I could have, oh my god. You know what I wish they would have done? Is I wish they would have just, gone into full-on, Pixar theory mode and just, shown, the inside emotions of, all the Pixar characters.
You mean
what's going on inside Sully's head? What's going on inside Vader's head?
You mean the end in the cars, the movie reel?
Pretty much, yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Alright, AdvBlueDude, your first impressions?
I mean, I had very high hopes at the beginning. And, yeah, it was a great movie. I was not disappointed. I was somehow more excited. Or made more excited. So, yeah, it was definitely probably the best movie that they've done.
It was worth the wait.
Since Toy Story 3.
Oh, yeah. I'd say, no, without a doubt, it's the best movie they've done since Toy Story 3. That's not even a question. I'd say the big question is, where does this fit in overall into the Pixar canon? I'd say...
It can go literally anywhere. Well, not anywhere, but I mean,
Are you saying timeline-wise? Because I'm not talking about that right now. I'm saying just how you would rank them.
Okay. I wasn't sure which one you were talking about. I mean, yeah, that's more difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult, right? It's really difficult because this is such a damn good movie. The only problem is, it's so fresh in our minds now that I really do feel like we have to give it kind of the benefit of age before we start throwing around greatest Pixar movie ever! But
I mean,
I will say it's definitely top 5 material.
I'm with you there, Tiki. I have to say it's top 5.
Yeah.
I would already call the movie rather timeless anyway.
Now, to be fair...
So I don't think it's a problem of age.
Right. Yeah, to be fair, we're in an era now where we have accumulated a slew of fantastic Pixar movies. It's they're again, the Pixar theory at its
and then Cars 2.
Which is okay.
Which is still fine. I'll still defend it.
It's okay. It's just okay. The other ones are sublime, fantastic, and sparkling diamonds, but Cars 2 is okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to go that far with Brave. Or Monsters University, for that matter.
Monsters University, I think, was starting to return to form.
It was starting to. I just feel like it had too much of kind of the whole standard, oh, hey, guys, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do Animal House, but with monsters. Isn't that going to be cool? Animal House with monsters. Just go. Let's go.
The point is, it's kind of like the Diamond Theory. Everyone said they're all good, but and they're in different ways. They're all good. Some maybe a little less than others, but they're all at the end of the day. It's so hard to rank these movies now, especially when we get a gem like this. So it's
Oh, God,
impossible
yeah.
to rank it. Like all I can say is put in the top 5. Where I have no idea, but it's in the top 5.
It's like
somewhere.
I'd say for me, my top 5 would probably be this in no order at all. It'd probably be like this, Ratatouille, Up, The Incredibles, and probably like all of Toy Story just in combined into one unit.
Like, for me, I know, as much as I love this film, and I really do, I mean, I can't, part of me just will not let it take my top 2 spots in that top 5, was they'll always remain the same. The original Toy Story, then Up. Those two just can't be replaced in my heart, you know? I mean, I love them, and I love this movie too. It's just so, I can't put it at number 1.
Yeah, I hear you. But I do feel like with time, it could be, because I'll say myself, I was very much kind of zoning. I don't want to say zoning out, but I kind of walked into this movie at 7 o'clock, and I was a little bit tired because I just started class this week, so I've been waking up really early. So I was tired walking into this movie. So I feel like if I would have walked into it like really energized, I would have enjoyed it even more than I did, and I freaking loved it. So yeah.
Oh, this film is so good.
Yeah, I guess before we get into kind of the nitty-gritty of kind of some of our favorite scenes and whatnot, I'm sure we all have the 2 moments that made us cry. Like, I'm sure those 2 moments are probably going to be pretty universal.
Tiki, I think I had more than 2 moments, but I know there were a lot of...
To be honest with you, I almost started tearing up right when I heard that opening music. I'll be completely honest with you.
Michael Giacchino again. Oh my God, Michael Giacchino is an expert at composing. He really is.
All right, but anyways, let's quickly go over our thoughts on the short film before Inside Out. Lava.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think?
That was really clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Some people are a little mixed on the music, but you know, I think I love the story that's kind of given to us through some. I think the visuals are spectacular. It's the idea of like this.
The visuals are absolutely spectacular, and it gives me hope for Moana. Like, I hope this is kind of like a preview of what's to come with Moana in a way.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I just love kind of the bitter irony of that one point. You think it might end really darkly for a short.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, like everyone in the theater was just like, oh my God, is it really going to end like this? That's so dark. Like, to be honest with you, there was some laughter from the theater, just in kind of like a very ironic, sort of dark way. Like, oh my God, really?
It's like the people who thought, oh man, Up would have made for a great short film had ended with Carl going back in the house. It's like some of that.
Right. Or, of course, another good example is, what was I going to say? The toys in Toy Story 3. You know, like, there's still, I very much disagree with this, but there's still some people that thought that they should have got burned alive at the end. I'm like, no!
Yeah, screw those people. Seriously.
That would have made an incredible ending, though.
It would have been, like, the ballsiest thing of all time. Yeah, I mean, it would have taken balls of steel. I'll give them that much.
Just the impact of that.
It would have sent shockwaves throughout the animation industry. It really
Yes, it would have.
No, I think DreamWorks just would have, like, slapped the sign on the front door saying, we give up. We're done. They won. We're done.
All right.
What do you mean? We have, like, millions of films. We're done. We can't... We gotta go.
We still have to do How to Train Your Dragon 3.
No. Do you not comprehend what I'm saying? They emulated their main characters, the protagonists, their beloved childhood protagonists. We're done. We can't top that. No one can top that. We're out of here.
Okay. AdvBlueDude, what's your kind of impressions on Lava?
It might be my second favorite Pixar short.
Ooh, really?
Nice. Okay, because you were stalling, and I thought you were going to say something like, "I really liked Inside Out," but this was okay. Cool.
No,
cool.
Absolutely not. Because
I have heard really mixed things on it.
Really?
I have, yeah.
It surprises me because it's a really solid short. It's a really good short.
I thought you would love it because of the Tiki room stuff.
Okay, yeah. Let's just get into that. Yeah. I am probably the most biased person when it comes to this, but this is probably my favorite Pixar.
Is it just? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it mostly is just because I'm obsessed with tikis and islands and South Pacific culture and all that. And ukulele, I love the song. It's just like, here, Tiki, we saw your YouTube channel, so here's a short just for you. We're coming out with a movie in a couple years, too. It's going to be awesome. Oh, God.
But I gotta tell you, I thought it was so beautiful, just kind of like this. It's a simple love story with all this love and kind of the idea that lava sounds like lava.
The audience just went nuts for that pun. They just ate it up.
And it's such a pivotal moment in that short of like just when you realize, oh my God, this poor volcano, he's all sunken down after all this time. And by how breathtaking was that one shot of time passing in the volcano?
Oh yeah, that's great.
It was so photorealistic. It was mind blowing. Like, oh my, it's like the Umbrella short from Monsters University. It's like them upping the animation.
Sure.
Oh wow, just oh my God, just it was beautiful. And also, I love the design of the female volcano. I was like, oh man, that is a beautiful design. You know, and the end shot of the two of them, like with his arm around. Like, how do you get a volcano to have his arm around another volcano?
And they figured it out. They figured it out.
And it's also in a heart shape, by the way.
Oh.
Really nice, really nice.
I love the whole idea of, like, you know, the volcano's waiting thousands and thousands of years.
Yes.
And then finally, the girl volcano shoots up, and she's facing the wrong direction.
Yes. How sad is that initially?
To me, that's like almost kind of some Twilight Zone shit right there. I gotta say.
It's like, but there was time.
Exactly.
But there was time. But no, seriously, just like, and it's so sad too, like the fact that he couldn't. There was that bit where he couldn't sing and he couldn't be heard from underneath the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he tried to sing and then tell her like, I'm behind you. All that, couldn't do it because he's underwater. And then it started to rain.
Oh God, right. I have a really funny theater story for this short, actually.
I have a lot of crappy theater stories, but let's get into yours.
Okay. I was sitting behind a family. It was like, you know, a mom and dad and two girls, and I get the feeling that these two girls, this was their first Pixar experience in the theater.
Really?
Which was kind of neat.
Oh, that's so adorable.
But the only reason I say that is because they were, like, very confused about the short. Like, they were like, what is this?
Oh,
what is this?
That's beautiful.
But the best part,
we've all been there. How much did you think Tin Toy was like? What gift? Was that the movie?
Right. But the best part was this just made me kind of silently crack up to myself. After the credits started rolling, the dad, with as much sincerity as he could muster, is like, all right, kids, that's it. Time to go. Let's go. And he's like, sure was a lot different than the trailers made it out to be, right?
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
It was.
If you were me in that theater, I'd probably take him at face value and say, wait, mister, you can't leave yet. Don't scar these children for life.
You know, I will say that these people were so fast to get up after the movie was over, and, like, almost half the theater had, like, gotten out by the time that the whole credit stuff started rolling. And I was like, you idiots! You fools! Like, this is Disney we're talking about. They always put in after credit stuff.
And how many looks did you get afterwards? Like, you piece of...
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, I mean, did everyone leave, or were there a few people who took your advice and said, okay, we'll stay leave?
No, I didn't actually say that, dude. Come on. I wasn't, like, in the theater. I was like, oh, come on, you idiots. Why are you leaving? No, I was thinking it, but...
I'm sorry, let's go a little too cinematic with that one.
I guess so, yeah, because I wouldn't actually put that out in public.
It'd be pretty funny if that happened, though. You got to admit.
Although after Age of Ultron, I feel like Marvel kind of squandered some of its trust there with the end credits.
Right. I'll tell you.
Although, to be fair, Joss Whedon did warn us. He warned us.
With my theater experience, there were a bunch of idiot parents that brought infant children to this, and they're like, "Oh, you," and they're crying throughout the movie, and
that sucks. That sucks.
I was slightly amused by some kids asking their parents what was going on. Yeah, that's always sometimes that can be fun during the movie. Like, wait, what happened? What gives?
And this is most definitely a movie that I feel like it's probably not since Ratatouille, I feel, has a movie in the Pixar canon been made almost more so than adults than for children.
Oh, well, actually, again, I want to say more to this when we kind of maybe discuss it a little further, but Pete Docter has said, this is really start off as a movie that you were trying to reach the kids. As they were working on it, they realized, this is really a movie for parents, most definitely. The parents it's from a parent's perspective and for the parents but through the kids.
This is absolutely a parents' movie. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I guess to round it off, we'll be doing a more in-depth discussion of this later on in the week, and England will be joining us. And I feel like he has a lot of good things to say because he can actually kind of relate to this movie on two different levels. On one level, he kind of told us this on WDW Magic. On one level, he was a kid much like Riley, where he was in a military family growing up, so he would move around a lot, and he was never in one place for very long, so he could totally empathize with, the whole dilemma of, like, being in an unfamiliar place at a young age and what that can do to you. And then also, of course, he has a 10-year-old daughter himself, so I can't imagine the feels that was going on when he was watching this, especially at the end. So, so I can't wait to get England on to discuss this further. But in the meantime, guys, do you want to kind of just go through some of our highlight scenes and favorite moments and whatnot and so on and so forth?
Well, sure. You want to talk about the movie a little first before we get into that, or you want to save it just after we go over some great moments?
Well, talk about the movie just in general? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, it's like we kind of gave our first reactions, but like anything you want to talk about, like just kind of what kind
I feel like we already did give our first reactions. Like, that was the point of the opening of the video.
I mean, what the movie did right, but I'm sorry. Yeah, let's just go into the great moments.
One thing I will say, I've been listening to this damn soundtrack all freaking day. It is like above and beyond probably my favorite Pixar soundtrack.
I don't know if I have to listen to it more before I can make that kind of call.
Well, it's all up on YouTube, so I'm
going to check that out. I will check that out, see if it holds up.
And like I said, like right from the very beginning, right when I first heard those first chords, those first piano notes, I was just like, oh my god, this movie is just going to be an assault on my freaking emotions. Yeah.
They should, what they should do as a promotional thing for Pixar movies from this point forward? They should just give out themed boxes of tissues. Or like the little tissue packs with like just that they actually have like with the peanuts usually, but like just themed tissue packs. Like Inside Out, little label of Inside Out on it.
I mean, with Inside Out, yeah, it would definitely be very appropriate. Very appropriate. I do have one nitpick, and it has nothing to do with the movie itself. Nothing to do with the movie itself.
Is the marketing?
Yes, it's the marketing. I feel like I knew too much from the marketing. I feel like the marketing kind of spoiled some stuff that I wish I hadn't known. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of original stuff in here that wasn't in the trailers, for sure. But having said that, based on like all the trailers and the clips and everything, I feel like I already kind of knew the beginning, middle, and end of the story already before I even went into it. And I mean, what's really bad, I feel like, is there's shots from the big emotional climax that are actually in the trailer. So, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know, I think it's, remember, those moments are really about what's going on behind the scenes a lot, too. So, I mean, I think it's okay to show, don't get me wrong, I'm all for saying, like, we don't need to see it. Just show us Bubkiss in the trailers. That's fine, as long as we have like a good tone and atmosphere established there. It's like enough to reel someone in. But I'm with you there. However, I mean, just what was shown, I don't think it necessarily detract from it, because basically you knew it was kind of like a buddy journey adventure, which isn't a spoiler. It's the two of them going off.
That's absolutely not a spoiler for Pixar, because that's kind of Pixar's wheelhouse.
Exactly, but also just the shots that are for the big climax. I don't know, because I think you have to build up to that moment. I think it was okay. with the marketing.
I mean, all I'm saying is that, like, from the marketing, and I also saw the Japanese trailer and kind of wish I hadn't,
Well,
because
you gotta steer away from the overseas trailers, Tiki. They have more footage on them.
Right. The Japanese trailer kind of gave away the whole running away subplot.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a big spoiler.
Yeah.
All right, AdvBlueDude, what's one of your favorite moments or elements from this movie?
I'd just like to say beforehand, this is a spoiler-filled review.
It is. Yeah.
If you haven't noticed already after 15-20 minutes of this, there's a few. I really like Bing Bong's death, and that is a sentence I never thought I would say.
Bring out the Inside Out tissues.
Oh, yeah.
No, that was just it was a really great scene. I kind of knew it was coming, but not then.
But it was so brilliantly foreshadowed.
No, like,
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't really take you by surprise when it happens, but it's still just a damn gut punch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know when and how.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like an interstellar surprise.
Yeah.
Right.
I really like the Frank Oz and Dave Goelz cameo.
Oh, yeah.
That was wonderful. Even though it was short.
Who would they play?
They were the subconscious guards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Remember they get the hat guys?
Yeah.
It says my hat. What do you mean my hat? No, it says my hat. Who wrote it down? You did. So you wrote it in my hat. No, it's my hat.
Yeah, there was that. I had another one. Oh, there was a Chinatown reference.
Yes. You're in Cloud Town, Jake.
It's Cloud Town.
So much cloud-related crime.
Yeah, I mean, Bing Bong just straight up murders the guy.
There's an investigation. Again, we're slowly inching towards the black and white detective movie.
Right.
Inching towards it.
Okay.
There were two homicides on screen.
Yeah. By the way, that Cloud Man, that was the John Ratzenberger role, right?
No.
I don't know.
John Ratzenberger's at the end.
Who is Fritz?
Fritz?
That's who it says John Ratzenberger is.
No, Fritz is okay, I'll tell you John Ratzenberger. John Ratzenberger is the character at the end who repairs, like, the new console at the end of the movie. That's him.
Oh, okay.
And I guess his name is Fritz. I didn't know the names, but it's really kind of unclear what these things are. But I mean, they have it's like just mine workers. That's kind of what they're called in the credits and stuff. They just mine people.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for their designs all that much, but that's a very minor nitpick.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, that's the idea. Like the emotions get all the good treatment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not like the average Joe working environment with those guys, though. I like that. It's pretty funny.
Right.
So it's a day on the grind. They like messing with people too.
Now, one thing I will say, I think this movie might be one of the darker pieces of children's animation that we've gotten in a long time when you break it all down.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, especially the stuff towards the middle, like. I mean, it turns into a straight kind of almost apocalyptic kind of movie when, spoiler alert, all the islands of personality come crashing down.
When the first happens, my heart dropped. Like, oh my god!
I know, it's like there's some really like bleak imagery in there.
Because for a moment I thought, well, she's never getting those back. It's like growing up, she's losing a part of herself. Oh my god!
That's essentially what it was.
Well, I mean, she'd restore them, but in a different way. So it was rebuilt in a new fashion towards the end, but still, just like the moment it happened. Oh my god! It's like you don't know if it's coming back.
Mm-hmm. And the whole movie, it's kind of like you're just worried. You're like, oh my god, what's going to happen if she loses all of them?
And we do see the result of that. It's really terrifying.
We do, yeah. And it's a really good kind of ticking time bomb device for the movie. I just kind of got, color a surprise for Pixar, but I kind of got a Brave Little Toaster type vibe out.
Yes!
Yeah, there is.
I mean, most definitely, just with the heavy way of the emotions and everything, and kind of the bleak environment. And I gotta say, my favorite segment in this whole thing might be the subconscious.
You know, there might actually be two subtle Brave Little Toaster references, but I could be stretching.
Well, I think the clown might be
Yeah,
one of them.
the clown and also the vacuum.
The vacuum, no. Oh my god, the vacuum, you're right.
I'm saying I'm mostly messing around. The clown, however, come on, giant clown.
That's gotta be Brave Little Toaster.
If it said run, I would have lost it.
I love when the clown's sleeping and he's just saying to himself, like, who's the birthday girl? Who's the birthday girl?
By the way, there actually is something really moving about that clown, by the way.
Okay.
And I could be wrong here, but I'm like 90% sure of this. That clown is a loving homage to Joe Ranft.
I can see that. I can
because
definitely
Joe
see
Ranft
that.
would dress up in a clown who looks almost identical to that. I mean, the face might be a little different. The point is, like, the costume, especially the pants, because I don't want to sound like I'm reading into this now, but seriously, like the pants. Joe Ranft played a clown at parties because he liked magic, he liked clowns, like all that sort of stuff. He played Buttocks the Clown, who was this clown with like giant pants, and it looked like he had a huge butt. And this guy, he has kind of a similar dynamic, like with the same colored pants and everything that Joe Ranft had.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying I could be stretched, but I think that'd be a loving homage to Joe Ranft, one of his characters.
I think you're pretty on the money with that. It could be. Okay, Dre. So, what are a few of your kind of like personal favorite moments in this?
Oh my God, there's a
lot. There's a lot. Yeah.
Well, I think thematically there's a lot of great stuff there. I'm going to run through a few of that because I think AdvBlueDude, you mentioned the whole Bing Bong thing was great. By the way, Tiki, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but the voice. Did you find anything familiar about Bing Bong in terms of the voice?
Who is it?
It's Richard Kind. Now, Richard Kind, Tiki, one that's the mayor from Gotham.
The mayor from Gotham. Okay.
And
oh my
also,
God, that's really random.
He's been in other Pixar films too, and he's been in two other Pixar films. He was Molt in Bug's Life, Mary Hopper's brother.
Okay.
And he was the tourist car in Cars, the one that says, "I don't need directions. I need GPS. I'll never need a map again." That's him.
Okay.
And also, he's the bookworm in Toy Story 3. That's also. Point is, Richard Kind, he's familiar with Pixar, wonderful actor, and he's always real fun. And then here you got the stretch line, who was really great. Okay, let me just there are a lot. I think the best ways to sell this movie are one, there's tons of humor, tons of heart. I think it's just coated in it's coated in subtlety and fascinating subtext.
Oh yeah,
it really is. It's like with Pete Docter, this film is a really personal thing for Pete Docter. They have a really human touch.
I know the whole story, so yeah.
I'm
going to get into that more in our in-depth review.
Exactly, it's a fascinating story. Point is, with the Pete Docter kind of touch on this movie, it has this real human touch. It's similar to Up, human touch, a lot of comedy, fantastic comedic timing and editing, by the way, and I'll tell you why, because it has the same editor as Up, and that's Kevin Nolting. This guy knows how to edit. My God, this guy's a brilliant editor, I thought, because you get these great comedic punchlines, just kind of transitions, and like kind of with a movie like this, you have to have really great intercutting between the real, the mind and the physical world.
Absolutely, yeah. It's such a juggling act for sure.
It's like kind of like the fun comedic cuts like we got in Up of like remember Russell being dangled out the window and says, "Now hold on, don't jerk around too much." Well, that's not going to work.
Well, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
That'll never get old.
Also, someone who we gotta give major props to for a reason why this movie really connects really well is Ronnie Del Carmen. He's a fantastic story guy and the kind of co-director of this movie. So yeah, and Ronnie Del Carmen, he's worked in tons of stuff too. He's worked on DC also, like the DC animated stuff too. Okay, his point is the feelings really come across. I was just amazed how many times in this movie the feelings themselves they communicated so well. To you feeling that way on screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like, I feel
like this movie is just like it's like absolute treasure for like a psychology major.
It's like and they did tons of research for that too, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah.
So basically, I think the way you kind of sum up kind of the animation in this movie, we were in animation nirvana. Yeah, we were. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but the animation's gotten so good. I could feel the emotion that we were seeing on screen.
Oh yeah,
on
sure,
screen.
sure.
It's like, when Joy appeared for the first time, man, I feel joy. Yeah.
Oddly enough, though, I think Sadness is the character that probably got the most laughs, at least from my theater.
Yeah. I don't know. However, Fear got a great.
Fear, yeah. Fear is probably the one that was probably hitting the most in the marketing because he had some really good moments.
The nightmare sequence was fantastic.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious. You know, I gotta tell you, again, I don't want to just make this into like a whole reminiscing of a man we don't no longer have. That struck me as such a Joe Ramp sequence, you know.
Right,
seriously, because Joe Ramp is all about kind of like the dark humor of like it's something so dark it's so hilarious. that was his wheelhouse. You know, Pete Docter and him worked really close together. I like to think a bit of that kind of came through. But you know, let me tell you about again with the whole code of subtlety thing, which I think was really why this film was so brilliant. One subtle thing I really loved in the third act, I thought made it so real. Because that's the thing is with the Pete Docter stuff, he grounds these really out there ideas, but in such he grounds the idea in such believability, and that's why it works. Absurd idea, man in a floating house, but it works because you buy why he inflated all those balloons.
I buy the theory that he went crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you better.
That is a theory, though.
Anyway, so you see what I mean, though.
And for my money, there's still no solid explanation of how Russell got on the porch. Just saying.
He was looking for the snipe, Tiki.
Yeah, but when you see the shot of the house, you see underneath the house, and he's nowhere to be found.
Ooh, you... Anyway,
I remember that bothered me so much on my first time I watched the movie. It kind of like altered my I've been able to look past that since then. But when I first saw the movie, that was like one of the things that was really on my mind.
It's the most moving 10 minutes in all of cinema, and you can't give that a break in your first watch.
Oh no, I'll always say that the first 10 minutes of Up is fantastic. It's still probably to this day the best thing they've ever done. I think the movie itself is really, really, really strong, but certainly, I don't know, I wouldn't even, I would probably say that this might be a better movie than Up overall, even though I'd wager to say the first 10 minutes of Up is still the best thing Pixar's ever done.
Anyway, so again, you see what I mean by the whole grounding an idea, as out there as it is, but in great believability, which is even though in Monsters, Inc., you know, it's just out there, these monsters.
There was so much crossover with this and Monster, Inc., I felt, in terms of just how, it really goes to show you how talented Doctor is at world building.
Well, let me tell you what this movie kind of felt in terms of it felt like a blend of a few Pixar movies, but in a good way, with its own original coding all over it. But I'm just saying kind of in terms of what we see. It's kind of a combination of the three really great Pixar movies. It's a combination of Toy Story, you know, with the dedication to the kid, and kind of the illogical logic coursing through its veins. Up, big time, a lot of Up in there, of course, kind of the human characters.
The emotions,
and of course, the relationships. And, of course, with the world building, Tiki, Monsters, Inc., a lot of Monsters, Inc. in there with the world building. So it's kind of a combination of those three things with the kind of the emotion thing running through it, coding it all. It was really, really, really brilliant. So let me tell you my favorite subtle touch in the whole movie. It just really drives the emotion. I love the use of shaky cam in the movie.
I didn't even really notice shaky cam.
When Riley, in the third act, when Riley gets on the bus, they use shaky cam just to show you, oh man, this is a real thing happening right now.
I love the whole build-up of that, by the way, and the music gets all somber, and oh man.
And that, to me at least, that shaky cam with all those other elements of the shaky cam brings it home with I was on the edge of my seat, like, come on, kid, get off the bus. If you hit the highway, you're gonna be done for. Get out of there. You know, it was like...
Then when I saw, quite frankly, as a local of the Bay Area, when I saw they were going into Oakland, I was like, oh no, you're going to get shot, get out of there!
No, but still, just the minute, when I saw... is when I saw those signs, she has a limited window of opportunity to get off of that bus soon.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, just seriously, just how tense that was, just that little shaky cam just showing. It's kind of like the moment from Finding Nemo of when you're in the... Oh, by the way, for Lava, by the way, just seeing underwater Pixar doing underwater again is remind me so much of Nemo of oh, I can't wait
sure.
where they do it again. But
these guys are finding Dory, but I feel like Pixar still needs to kind of keep up their streak of original stuff, and I hope that this is kind of like a lesson to them that for every original movie or for every sequel there should be at least one original, if not more than one.
Right, but it kind of reminds me of like kind of the tone at the end of Finding Nemo when they had like the whole codfish scene, like the tone of that scene, kind of in a similar route to how the shaky cam works for this movie.
Sure, yeah.
It really works. You know?
Did you guys get the? Did you guys catch the Haunted Mansion reference?
Yes. I was pointing out to the guy I was seeing with a few friends. I was like, "Hey, that's Haunted Mansion music."
Da, da, da.
Did you guys? Let's talk about a few Easter eggs we saw, because again, I'm assuming we're going to need to watch this a few times at least. Pay attention. Maybe
I feel like there were like so many. Like this movie, it's just there's so much to take in. It's impossible.
I remember
I wasn't even thinking about Easter eggs when I was watching it for the first time.
I remember there was Dead Remy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was creepy though. That was really creepy.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you had like the Luxo. Of course, the Luxo ball was there. It's always fun to see in the room there. You got a few nods there.
You know what would have been a great reference? And this is almost kind of a missed opportunity. Okay, so you know the broccoli pizza scene?
Congratulations, San Francisco, you ruined pizza.
First the Hawaiians, now you. For the record, I love pineapple on pizza. I don't endorse that.
Well, Riley doesn't.
Okay, well, broccoli on pizza, I'm with broccoli. I'm with Riley in not liking broccoli.
Oh, did you notice the subtle thing of disgust? Because that was the first thing Riley disliked, that disgust is green like broccoli because of that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Anyways, what I was going to say is how perfect would it have been if we had the whole broccoli pizza scene and then it immediately cuts to them at a pizza planet. Like, screw this crap, we're going to get some real pizza.
Oh, you know, I wonder what the fate actually was. I wonder how long Pizza Planet actually stayed open in the Toy Story universe.
I don't know. It's fascinating. I mean, that probably would have been too on the nose to just straight up go there, but I don't know.
Neither of you found the Pizza Planet truck, did you?
Yeah,
like I said, I wasn't really looking for it because I was just trying to take in everything. But
yeah, I'm seeing it again tomorrow. I'm gonna see if maybe I can find it, but otherwise I couldn't quite make it out where it was.
One of the co-directors said it was hidden really cleverly.
Really go again. We couldn't just have the Pizza Planet truck parked next to the pizza place. That would be so
right.
I gotta make it a hunt. I gotta make it an Easter egg, but I'm not complaining.
Just like in The Incredibles, we couldn't just have it be one of the cars in the chase. Oh no.
Yeah,
oh, no.
People have been looking all over the place for it, and just the dangling of hope that hey, it might be there.
It might be.
If it's there, it changes everything. No, it doesn't change anything at all, really. But
if it's there, then that means Pizza Planet was around in the 1950s, which is when The Incredibles takes place according to the Pixar theory. Yeah.
Always with the Pixar theory.
I get the feeling that there are just a crazy amount of Easter eggs in the memories.
Oh yeah, sure. I can tell you a few actually.
Okay.
Okay, there's really interesting. They have emotional moments from some Pixar movies. The main one, of course, there are a lot of Up references and from Married Life in there. So in the memories, you see basically a lot of frames from Married Life going on in the orbs, and also like there's a few shots from Toy Story 3. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a really clever idea, I thought. And, like the good memory section, the joy memories.
I was blown away by when Joy gets blasted down into that dump, the atmosphere of that, and all the fading memories. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I actually think like Bing, what's his name? Bing Bong? Yeah, Bing Bong.
Yeah, Bing Bong.
I mean, his death was sad, but to tell you the truth, I think an even sadder moment was when he lost his rocket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the realization.
Yeah, because it's like at that point it was almost kind of inevitable that he was going to get forgotten.
Yeah.
So it was just, I feel like his death was just kind of the culmination of his storyline, but I feel like him losing the rocket was like really the gut punch.
Oh yeah, just the idea you are going to be outdated. You lost what made you special. That point is like, what does she have to cling on to you now? That idea just being thrown out there of like, hey buddy, your cotton candy days are over.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's part Dolph.
He's part Dolphin, yeah. Riley was 3. She was really into animals back then.
Remember the boy band? Not the boy. Remember the imaginary boyfriend?
Oh, of course. And of course, AdvBlueDude, I'm sure you'll agree with me, that kind of reminded you of something straight out of Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
It really did. I would die for Riley.
When he said that line, I was like on the floor laughing. Oh my!
I think probably one of the funniest moments in the whole movie is when they're like all stacked on top of each other and they're all like reacting this way. They're all like, "Whoa, whoa!"
It's like an army of Keanu Reeves.
Pretty much. And of course, how great was that moment when we see inside the boy's head and it's just like, girl!
They're all just
panicking,
they're DEFCON 2. Oh
my god! Oh god. Oh, really good stuff. And then the flying instructor turns out to be the teacher's boyfriend.
Yeah, that's one thing. The flying instructor gay. How do you guys feel about the flying instructor gay?
I like it. I think it's fine.
So did I.
So let me ask you this. So you think it's so the flying instructor was kind of a philanderer of some sort, like he's going to both women, or what?
No, I think what it was that he was dating Riley's mom back in the day, and then now he's dating Riley's teacher.
Yes.
Because didn't the teacher say, like, you know, she, of course, with Riley's mom, she has memories of him. Right. But then the teacher, she's like, oh, I'm going to go see him this weekend.
When I saw the trailer,
ride with me, Chiquina.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, at first I thought Gardenia might be like a play on her name, but apparently he calls the teacher Gardenia too, so it must be like a pet name.
Yeah.
Because remember, the parents don't exactly have names; only their last name's Anderson.
Yeah, that's true. They don't really have names. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I felt again the emotion. Another really great thing, the animation. Before again, just how it blew us out of the water. Just the expression animation. Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Well, they took a really brilliant conceit of, like, in the real world, it's very down to earth, and then in Riley's mind, it's just all over the place, and the character animation is definitely, like, employs kind of the squash and stretch technique, and just really super exaggerated, and I think that works wonders, and especially, like, I love kind of the thematic symbolism of how, as the movie goes along, Riley physically gets darker, like she has that dark jacket, and then the backgrounds start to get darker. Yeah. And oh man.
And you'll notice Joy, she has like a blue aura around her, symbolizing that she will become sad. She'll realize the importance of sadness.
Indeed. In terms of like animation, I have to give a slight edge to How to Train Your Dragon 2 in terms of like being the most impressive animation that I've ever seen.
Tiki, remember the sequence where they go through the stages?
Stages?
You know, I forget what the stages exactly were. Remember, there's like the 4 stages of like, you know, the different animation styles. Remember? Like
when they're becoming abstract ideas.
Yeah, the abstract stages. Oh my god,
that was great. I was
blown away by that. Oh my god, what? They turned into the crappy Pixar knockoff animation for a moment.
Exactly.
It's like there's that one animation studio that does like they make bad copies of the Disney animation.
It's basically the Asylum, but for Pixar.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, it's like they're parodying them. Well, it's like the snake eating its tail. Look at that. We need
that was really good. Okay. Any other kind of? I feel like we're kind of like saving the big sort of emotional climax for last, but any other sort of highlights before we get into that?
Well, again, overall, it's a real good buddy movie. I love the buddy movie dynamic of like pairing joy and sadness together.
And I've said this from the beginning, that was a brilliant idea, because joy and sadness in life just go hand in hand.
And of course,
you can't have one without the other. Really.
Now, here's the thing that blew me away. The thing that I never occurred to me until I saw the movie, until it just happened in the movie. Just put the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
That all the trailers like, okay, these two are gonna be paired off together. It's gonna be a goodbye movie. I never gave any thought to. Wait a minute. Without them, I mean, you, Riley, was going to be in a bad state, but just it dawned on me, like, why? Because these three emotions are going to be left in control. Three of them really can't make a fully functioning human being. You need the hope, or you need the sadness to keep you in check. Otherwise, you got fear, disgust, and anger, kind of some negative emotions there. It's like all negative emotions without the glimmer of hope, of joy in there.
Sure.
So that we knew she was going to be in a bad state because she's missing two emotions, but we never thought why until that moment, for me at least.
And I love how the whole movie explains everything. I love the moment where sadness touches the memory, and it makes so much sense within the context of the real world. You know what I mean? How Riley's telling her story about back in Minnesota, and then suddenly she realizes that she's not in Minnesota, and all those memories are turning sad. It's just brilliant the way that it's done, and the way that it all ties together.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course the kind of like Riley in school being like turning into a core memory. I love the conceit of, first of all, let's give it up to Lewis Black as Anger. That was perfect casting, and he nailed it out of the park. But I love the conceit that Anger is the guy who came up with the whole idea of running away. But I love how, even though that's kind of like the main threat in the movie, it came from a really genuine place, from Anger.
Yeah, like none of these emotions are one note.
Exactly. They're, like, in spite of the fact that they are literally emotions, all of them have very fleshed out personalities. I'd say probably Disgust is probably the one that's the most one-dimensional, but, you know, she's fun. She's got some really good laughs, too.
However, and to be fair, I think she serves a really important role when you really analyze her. You know, she's kind of the closest to what Riley could become if she's not kept in check.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, you could become all disgust for all you know. Like it's like she could become like one of those girls she might have befriended for all we know.
She could become a Shallow Valley girl, and we wouldn't want that.
Exactly. So I'm saying disgust is like a thing. It's a useful thing to have, but if again, it could consume her if it's not careful. So, I think disgust isn't. It's not that she's not multi-layered, because it's not. Sorry, it's not that she's not. She's not one note, but I mean she serves an important role, kind of making up for her fact. She doesn't have to really bridge into other things. She's consistent. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
sure, and all the emotions are.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though. You know what I'm talking about with the Lewis Black is Anger. The running away, it comes from such a genuine place in Anger's mind of, like, we got to get more core memories, and our best memories were in Minnesota, so we have to get back to Minnesota. So I love that whole idea. I love how it's the big threat of the movie, and yet, it's just, sorry, I got a little distracted. Yeah, it comes from such a genuine place of this character wanting to help out Riley.
Yeah.
I guess another moment it really resonated with me was when Riley was on the Skype call or whatever it was with her friend, and her friend's talking about how there's this new girl on the hockey team and blah 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 blah. We're so close, and just kind of being really insensitive to the fact that it's like she's basically replacing Riley. And I'm only bringing up this scene so I can make this joke. Throughout that whole scene, I was just kind of thinking in my head, "Shut up, Meg." I'm sorry.
Really?
Shut up, Meg.
That's your joke.
Yes, that's my joke.
That's your joke.
Shut up, Meg. All right. All right. Any other final things before we get into kind of the big emotional climax?
No.
Mr. BlueDude?
Not really, no.
Okay. So yeah, let's talk about it, because my God, was it a freaking tearjerker. Oh my God, when Joy gives Sadness the memories and she turns them all sad, and then the family's just huddled together, and you know, and I think probably the moment that really gets it for me is, you know, Riley, she's breaking down, and then Kyle MacLachlan really underplayed. I feel like Diane Keaton and Kyle MacLachlan both really underplay the parents in a really good way.
Yeah.
They're kind of the most down-to-earth characters in the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
And Kyle MacLachlan, the moment that really got me was Kyle MacLachlan. He's just like, I know, I miss Minnesota too. And it's just like, and then they just go into it, and it's, oh my god, it's so sad. It's so sad.
I loved, again, I've really been in love with Kyle MacLachlan since I saw him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He just blew me away in that.
Kyle MacLachlan, I know him from Desperate Housewives, actually. A lot of people know him from Twin Peaks. That was his big role.
Also one of his big roles, like for TV and stuff, it was Sex and the City, from what I hear.
Oh yeah, right.
I know him from Portlandia.
Right, yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Okay, anyways.
And of course, the dad scene was hilarious.
Oh yeah. So what do you guys have to say about that emotional climax? Like, would you say, Jesus Christ, it definitely ranks up there with the saddest moments Pixar's ever had.
Yeah, it was probably the realest climax.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so non-conventional. Like, it didn't follow the he didn't follow the classic thing of, oh, you're in trouble, young lady. We were worried sick about you.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. None of that.
A part of me was kind of dreading that. Like, I mean, I love this movie. I mean, I know they're going to do that. Like, how are they not going to do it? When they didn't do that, I was like, man, this movie's great, because they're just happy she's not.
Right.
They're just happy she's around, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. AdvBlueDude, what were your thoughts when you got to that scene?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really real climax. It's.
We need to solve the world's problems with hugs.
Yes, I think it really explains the themes of the film.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm not sure how to put that into words exactly, but I think.
Well, I definitely think kind of one of the big things of the film is how joy and sadness kind of coincide with each other, as I said earlier.
Yes.
And I feel like that scene is like the big climax of that idea.
No, absolutely. Yeah. It really does. It really is the emotional climax, as you said. Yeah.
So before we go, BlueDragonFive, you probably don't have any say in this, but I want to ask AdvBlueDude a very close personal question.
Oh Christ! Okay.
What's the better movie, this or Fury Road?
Fuck.
It's impossible, right? Because I've been thinking about that all day, and it's impossible to answer. It's just impossible.
Fury Road is the better live-action movie. Well, Inside Out is the better anime.
It's just impossible because they're both masterpieces of their own genres, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I have
you can't compare them.
A little bit higher than Inside Out, but that might change once I see Inside Out again. I don't know. It's impossible.
AdvBlueDude, I'll remind you, a cotton candy elephant, part dolphin, part cat, died in this movie on screen sacrificially. Bear that in mind when you make your decision.
AdvBlueDude, I'll remind you of Guitar Guy.
Tumors died.
Yeah, I'll remind you of Guitar Guy. That's all you need to know.
Oh, you mean the Doof Warrior?
Yes.
I'll remind you of the irate bus driver.
What?
Oh,
I'll remind you of the irate bus driver.
So everyone in Fury Road.
Oh god. I watched Fury Road with my dad. I might have told you this, but whenever I see him now, I always quote like, "I had a brother, I had a little baby brother, and he was perfect in every way." Okay, anyways, they're both fantastic movies. So
yes, they are.
Alright, any last words, gentlemen?
This film was an emotional experience, and I know how that sounds, but it was true. It's so refreshing. Pixar the Tiki girl, and they come back with this, and my heart was like, oh my, you guys are the best. You know that you're the best.
Yeah, oh yeah. If a good dinosaur is half as good as Inside Out, then we're in for something really special, I think.
If they can do this. With, it was brilliant. Again, Pete Docter, I don't know, if I ever had to rank the Pixar directors, it'd be an impossible task. But I mean, Pete Docter, he always wins me or whatever he cooks up. Man, I love this.
I would say with this, I would say Doctor's rose to the top. I would make that. I would make that claim.
Doctor's still
it's between him and Brad Bird for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I can't rank him, because I love Brad Bird and I also love Andrew Stanton. They're all good.
Andrew Stanton's good. I feel like Andrew Stanton might be a little step below.
And of course, how can we leave out John Lasseter? The point is, they're all really good.
Well, we can leave out John Lasseter because of Cars 2, quite frankly.
Look, to be fair, he took over.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
You know, we all forget that he took over that movie for someone, so that was another reason. It's not all his fault, okay?
I thought he was the one that really wanted to personally do the movie.
Well, I mean, he okayed it, but then Brad Lewis was doing it. Then he had to take over from Brad Lewis to finish it out himself.
Okay, fair enough. All right. AdvBlueDude, since you haven't said much, I will put you on the spot, and I will say, give us some closing words, some closing wisdom to go out on.
Make it meaningful.
Yes, make it meaningful.
Make us cry.
Make us cry as much as the last 5 minutes of this movie. Yeah.
Why do we all speak different languages, when in reality, we should all be speaking love?
Boom! Have a good night, everyone.